we just want to work on our consistency and discipline. Whenever we're consistent, we're a good ball club. And we're going to continue to work on that this week in preparation for Troy. Troy's an extremely talented team. They're playing their best basketball. But the one thing we can control is our consistency. If we get the consistency into our game, especially going into February, best basketball is going to be played in March.
The second game, I guess, is it good to have that, if you're going to split, it's good to have that second game where you have some stuff to kind of be positive about and kind of feed into the rest of the week.
Well, you look at the second game, we were able to hold a team that averages around 86 points per game. We held them to 58, and then one half where we held them to 18 points. That's a defensive mindset. I was glad that we were able to bounce back, give credit to our players. That was a character win on Saturday. We need to have that momentum flow into Troy, playing a quality team. Coach Cross does an unbelievable job. Got a young group that is extremely experienced. There's no more freshman basketball anymore. These guys are experienced players going into, early February and rolling into March. But they're playing their best basketball. We have to come in ready to play, defensive mindset, be able to get back in transition defense, and it's up to us to be able to put our best foot forward. How do you do that? It starts from your practice habits this week.
In Saturday's game, it seemed like even though Coastal made that run behind who might be the player of the year, you guys seem to keep your composure. Is that something that you can build on as well, and were you proud of that?
No question. Coastal Carolina is coached by a Hall of Fame coach. And we knew that they were going to throw some punches, but we were able to withstand some punches there against Coastal, and we were able to come away with the win. I was glad, give credit to our players being able to stay together. They also did that at South Alabama in Game 1. That we took some major hits, some blows. We talked about that all week, that South Alabama was going to have some major hits and blows towards us, but we didn't crack, we didn't fragment, we stayed together. And I think we're seeing growth in regards to that area. If we continue to get better, consistently have that defensive mindset, our offense is going to continue to click as it goes into the month of February, and we'll be playing our best basketball late.
McCadden and Brown both kind of stepped up, especially in the second half of that game.
Yeah, Elijah made big shots late. Kamari had an unbelievable stretch late in the second half, allowed us to make winning plays and allowed us to put us in best position to win. Give credit to those guys. And we also want to celebrate the assists. Eric Boone, back-to-back assists late in the game to Elijah. That's what we talk about, an unselfish brand of basketball, and we were able to witness that on Saturday.
Troy, you've seen them once. Now you're going to their place. Your thoughts on playing them?
Well, one, they have more of a healthier roster compared to the time we played them first. You're going to see an athletic team, one of the better frontline programs in regards to what Troy's brought to the table. They are young, but they're extremely experienced now. Like I said earlier, there is no more freshmen in college basketball. We go into the month of February, you're wanting to start clicking, playing your best basketball you possibly can. And Coach Cross has done a great job. They're extremely disciplined. They're extremely long and athletic, get all over the offensive boards. And they're playing their best basketball right now, coming off of a three-game win streak. They'll be ready to play, and we're excited about the opportunity to head down to Troy.
There's been a lot of teams throughout the country and even in the league that have had to put the brakes on the program during the season, and I know that's got to be something that's on your mind, but as of right now, you guys have been able to continue to play. How important is that, and how much of an edge does that give you?
Well, I think you have to be grateful for, we're following COVID protocols, give credit to our administration. We've played, 19 total games. We played the maximum amount that we possibly can play, and we've stayed healthy. And I think we have to have a sense of gratitude, just to get the opportunity to play. You're seeing pauses across the country. So, one, we're very fortunate that we're staying healthy, opportunity to play in the Sun Belt, get a chance to go on the road and play a talented Troy team.
When you go up against Troy, is the mindset, we're going in with who's got the hot hand, who's playing well, or is it more of a matchup issue?
Well, I think you have to look, one, at Troy and then also look at Georgia Southern. We're playing quality basketball, especially coming off the Saturday's win. We're still playing, our rotations around 10 to 11 guys, but that allows us to have depth playing Friday, Saturday. We just want to continue to gel, and that's what we're working on throughout all our practice habits, and we want to play our best basketball going into late February, early March.
Do you change things up at all when you play them as opposed to the last time because their personnel is a little different?
Well, it's a little bit unique also because you're playing for the third and fourth time. There's no blueprint in regards to playing a team for the fourth time. So, sure, you're going to look at adjustments that you're going to need to make. You can implement those adjustments both on Friday and Saturday.
Was it tough last week to not play, to have the team ready and then have to shut it down and not play?
I don't think it was tough. It's kind of expected. That at some point something wasn't going to go right. I think the only challenging part was, or the disappointing part is, we had a great week of practice leading up to the games, and we were actually on the bus and almost to our destination. And so I think the toughest part was realizing, like, oh no, we're almost here. We thought we got by everything, the COVID test. And to hear that they weren't able to play, that was, I think, the bigger disappointment moment is that we were almost there. We felt like, we were going to be able to play and have to turn around. Outside of that, is our first time on this side of the ball where we did have to postpone our game due to COVID. I'm glad it wasn't us that had to postpone it, but we've heard of it from different colleagues and teams, and so this was our first side on this side of it. I think they're a little disappointed, but it also allowed us to regain their focus to say, look, every game is a blessing for us. And so, we got to continue to do our part so that this is not us, having to postpone because, whether it's a close contact or a positive or whatever. And so it just allowed us to regain our focus on how important it is to wear your mask, socially distance, and do everything as possibly right so that we can continue to play. And so we keep telling them that this year it's a blessing if you can play any game. And so I think it made us regain our focus to say that it can be taken away from us at any moment.
It's, if you miss a game, typically, you may have another one in a couple of days. For you, now it's been 2 weeks since you played. I know you're anxious to get this game, these games this weekend underway. How's practice been? Because going 2 weeks without playing an opponent and only being able to play each other, I imagine things can get a little monotonous.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just talking with our SID as I walked over here to say yesterday I thought we had one of our worst practices of the season. And it's only because I think we kind of lost focus a little bit because you are playing and doing the same drills and playing against the same players. And so the monotony of just seeing each other kind of played a role in that. And, we used it as some time to kind of allow them to take some extra time off. And so, whether that plays well in our favor, we'll see Friday and Saturday. But we do feel like we're a little bit more rested. Our bodies, the little nagging injuries had some time to kind of just heal a little bit, so I think that's a positive in it. But we are ready to see someone else, and so it is a long week, and so we're actually going to try to do some fun stuff. We talk about watching Space Jam with the team to see the Monstars, because we're liking Troy to the Monstars. They're the big bad wolf of the conference. They're hard to beat. They're intimidating. And it's kind of like the Space Jam, and so they're normal people. And so we're going to use this time to kind of just do some team bonding, team building, to try to break up that monotony of just being on the court and practicing day in and day out.
I was going to say, you've got your hands full, especially having gone 2 weeks without playing somebody, and all of a sudden you're playing the top team in the league.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on playing Troy?
A lot of people probably think, you want to shy away. We have to see Troy 4 times this year. They're the top team in the conference. They've been one of the top teams in this conference for some time now. I like it because, win, lose, or draw, it gives our young ladies an opportunity to see what the best competition looks like. And so I think playing them at their place and seeing how close we could get to beating them, it showed them that, they're not as good as we could be if we play our best basketball. And they are good at what they do bring. And so their intensity, their tempo, their rebounding. And so we was able to see that firsthand. And now we get an opportunity to try to see if we learn from that. So playing them again 4 times I like it because, to be the best, you have to beat the best. And so if we're unable to beat them, we know where we still have to go to try to be one of the better teams in the Sun Belt. But we get an opportunity to play against the best team in the Sun Belt right now.
They say it's tough to beat a good team 3 times.
Yeah.
They're going to be having to play you 3rd and 4th time. you mentioned, it's unusual in the season. So, I mean, and you guys did play pretty well, especially I think it was the second game.
Yeah.
When you were there. And you guys are one of the deeper teams in the league. Are some of those things, maybe playing in your favor as well?
Yeah, I would like to think so. So playing them, the first game we actually was up 23-8 in the first quarter, and we kind of got complacent. The second game we were getting blowed out pretty handily by 20, and then cut it to 3 in the fourth quarter. And so we played them good in the first part of the game, and then good in the last part of the game. And so I'm hoping that we can take the positive from both of those losses on the road and bring them here to Hanner. Now they haven't played on the road that much, Troy, and so that plays in our favor. We are in Hanner. That plays in our favor. And so I think if we're able to kind of start the game off strong or even kill with them, I think we'll play out well. But it is tough to beat a team 3 times, let alone 4. And so that's one of the things that I'm telling our young players to say, hey, they have something to worry about as well. We didn't just get blown out. And I think Troy has beaten most of the teams that they played by 20 plus, and that wasn't us. And so we played them pretty close, although it wasn't a win. And so those are some of the positives that we're trying to reiterate to our players to say, hey, they're the big bad wolf of the conference, but look, we've played them close and had opportunity to even win the game. And so let's right our wrongs and win here at our home floor.
You've had different players step up at different times. Is the matchup with Troy, do you go with matchup, like what looks the best, or do you go with who might be the hot hand or who you've seen in practice playing particularly well? Or is it, we're just going to keep throwing people out there and see who's hot?
It's a little bit of all of that. So I like how you put all those different combinations. And so the blessing of our team is we do have a lot of different combinations. With Troy, we're going to stick to what we do because Troy is good at tempo. We like to push the ball. Our depth as far as our players should play in our favor because outside of their top 8, now they start be a little more realistic with their roster. And so we're still going to look to push the tempo, but that's also one of their strong suits. The rebounding, they're the best rebounding team in our conference right now, and so I thought we did a good job against them at their place. And so, again, that's something in their favor, but that's something we also work on, and it's a strong suit for ours. And so that's not going to change. We have to out-rebound Troy because they are such a strong offensive rebounding team. And I thought we didn't do a good job of playing hard defense without fouling. And so I thought we put them on the free throw line too early and too often. And so that's something that we're going to have to be disciplined on is they love to attack the basket. Getting rebounds and putbacks, you typically foul. And so playing disciplined defense and not fouling, not giving them the and ones, not putting them on the free throw line. And so we're trying to limit how many times they see the ball go in the net. And so those are the ways I think that we'll be successful against them.